The firing of 4 Eudora employees is the reason behind a special city council meeting tonight. The city's new mayor and council members will meet to discuss personnel and policy matters. At issue, Mayor Fred Stewart's termination of the Eudora police chief and city superintendent. According to reports, the employees received termination notices last Thursday, the first day of Stewart's term. The meeting will begin tonight at 7:30 p.m. When we come back, the Lawrence Humane Society is opening its doors a little later. We'll tell you right after this. They're looking for a few good homes. The Lawrence Humane Society is sponsoring their first ever adopt-a-thon beginning tomorrow. The shelter manager says they have lots of pets just waiting to get adopted. Renee Harris also says they have seen about 150 more dogs this year than last, and for only $25, you can take a new pet home. The adopt-a-thon begins tomorrow night. The shelter is staying open a little longer and will close at 8 p.m. Then on Saturday, they'll open early at 10 a.m. Well, the college baseball season will most likely come to an end this weekend for the Kansas Jayhawks. They'll play a 2-game set with Southwest Missouri State at KU. The Big 12 tournament is set to get underway next week without Kansas in the field. In fact, 5 of the 6 teams playing come out of the southern half of the conference. And Kevin Lawrence says the sun is here to stay, well, at least for the next couple of days. He'll be in next with details. And Kevin Lawrence joins us now with our local forecast and some pretty severe thunderstorms last night. In fact, some fantastic light shows, the lightning.
I'll tell you what, that was one of the highlights of the evening was the light. It was, definitely. And I didn't even have to chase it very far. I actually stayed where I lived and just looked out the window and kind of enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
And that's a look at your local news for this afternoon. Have a great day. Local basketball fans are camping out for a chance to see Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Tickets went on sale this morning for a fall exhibition between the Bulls and the Seattle Supersonics at Allen Fieldhouse. The line began forming over the weekend and is made up of fans from all over the state. Once they get to the front of the line, seats aren't cheap. Tickets range from $20 to $50 each, but a lot of the good seats are already gone. The planes will be at the airport through Monday. Kansas Attorney General Carla Stovall is in court today going up against the tobacco industry. 2 major cigarette companies will ask a judge here in Kansas to drop lawsuits filed by the state of Kansas. Stovall will fight to have the tobacco company documents made public. Those documents have been kept secret for years. And up next, we'll tell you how the police and fire negotiations are coming along. We'll have details coming up next. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department is investigating the death of a rural Lawrence woman. Sheriff Lauren Anderson says deputies found a 38-year-old woman dead in a small pasture at her home south of Clinton Lake early this morning. Anderson says the woman was apparently locking up her horses before this morning's storm hit the area, but something went wrong. The sheriff says the victim suffered a severe blow to her head, which appears to be from a horse. Authorities are waiting to hear from the county coroner. If you see some wild cars rolling down the streets of Lawrence, you're actually seeing a bit of living, working art. The Art Car Parade is heading to Lawrence this Friday. Craig Anders has details. And Kevin Lawrence is in now with our local forecast. You know, we haven't had any rain in so long. I finally watered my lawn. I'm the only idiot out watering it all afternoon. And what happens?
It rains.
Gully washer.
Exactly. Well, you know, if you wash your car or you water the lawn, you know it's guaranteed we're going to have some rainfall. And that's exactly what happened, Barbara.
For more information about volunteering for the Sunflower State Games, you can call 842-7774. Well, there's a map at the University of Kansas that's breaking new ground. The remote sensing program at the University of Kansas has just completed a new digitally compiled map of the entire state. The map was taken from far above the earth with satellite, and it's been digitally transferred to a map to show water, crops, and urban areas of Kansas. The maps are for sale at 2 university bookstores and at the Museum of Natural History. Well, the forecast looks very hot and muggy. Kevin Lawrence has a look at our weather that's coming up. And Kevin Lawrence joins us now with a look at our weather and with a look at my hair. It's obviously very hot, humid, and muggy out there.
Well, it certainly is. It's typical July weather, Barb.
All right, well, thanks a bunch.
Okay.
All right, I'm Barbara Meenan. That's a look at your local edition for now. Thanks for watching and have a good day.
Now, time for Headline News Local Edition.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for Headline News Local Edition. I'm Barbara Meenan. Fire and medical units from Lawrence, Topeka, and Lecompton helped to save a piece of history today. A fire west of Lawrence threatened a building which has stood for more than 100 years. Firefighters say old electrical wiring could have started the blaze. The building was built in 1870 as a church. The current owners are working to restore the structure, and that helped in limiting the damage done by the fire this morning. One mother tells the USD 497 school board she's not happy with the recent actions. Shear spoke last night about the need to include more people on the boundary committee. The board discussed adding 4 parents with kids and junior high school. The board also tackled issues dealing with library security and teacher evaluations. And we'll have more in the meeting tonight on 6 News at 6 o'clock. Marcus Allen is used to being a star running back, but today at Hastings, Allen was on the receiving end of the rush as fans crowded into the store to get autographed copies of his autobiography titled Marcus. Although Allen had no comment about his appearance, his fans had plenty to say about him. Kevin Lawrence joins us now with the latest forecast. Kevin, kind of cool, kind of rainy, but kind of feels good for once.
It's not too bad, you know, fall officially. Today's the first day of fall. Trend underway for Thursday and Friday. Partly cloudy conditions. Highs will get closer to that normal into the 70s. So the rain's not going to last much longer.
All right, well, thanks.
All right.
And that's the latest from Headline News Local Edition. I'm Barbara Mina. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day. This morning it's not a big deal as far as major snow accumulation. The salt trucks were out all day yesterday preparing for this morning. The biggest deal we're dealing with this morning is the temperatures. It's very, very cold out there. Bundle up. Don't forget to send your kids with some mittens and some hats as they head out this morning.
Well, Barbara, I don't mean to sound like your mother, but you might want to put your hood on this morning because it is a little breezy out there.
I'm having trouble with it. It keeps blowing over this morning.
I understand. I've been there. All right, Barbara, thanks a lot. We'll check back with you a little bit later.
You betcha.
Let's go to Barbara Smith now, who's out live in all this muck and mess, and she's got a report on, I believe, the traffic problems we're having out there. Barbara?
Yeah, we're sitting out here just north of the Liberty Hospital off of I-35 at Lightbourne. This is the 69th Street exit. Details that we have right now are very, very sketchy, but as you can see over there, there's an SUV being hooked up to the tow truck right now at this point. When we got here about 10 minutes ago, it was totally overturned into the ditch. The other SUV, if you can pan over to the right, it looks like a dark green one, that was also in the ditch, and they're about to tow these vehicles away right now. We don't know the extent of the injuries. In fact, when we got here, there were no more emergency vehicles left on the scene. However, as you can see, there's traffic backed up at least a couple of miles, as we can see as you head southbound, and all the feeder roads and exits moving into this area are also backed up. This is just a reminder, folks, when we were driving up here, it's not that slippery out on the road. It's slushy in some areas. In fact, we took a little bit of an exit, and there was some snow on the road, but it was not slippery that bad. It's just that you have to exercise extreme caution. It's very deceptive out here. Once again, here we have an accident. Not a lot of snow on the ground. Just be very, very careful. Back to you.
All right, Barbara, thanks for that report from the Northland, and we'll continue to keep folks updated on the situation on I-35.
You betcha.
Fox 4's Barbara Mina has the latest.
There's so many people. I mean, it's so crowded in there right now. Somebody could grab a kid and no one would even notice.
No one noticed Friday afternoon when a 32-year-old woman was abducted in the east parking lot at the Great Mall of the Great Plains. Mall security cameras did catch a shot of the victim's vehicle later coming back, but not leaving.
I believe the cameras at the mall rotate on a 2-minute basis, so they're here. It'll take them 2 minutes to get back to the original starting spot.
Police say the woman was grabbed in broad daylight and taken to a secluded area. There she was raped, stabbed in the throat, and left for dead. She managed to walk down the road where a couple spotted her and took her to the hospital.
Never been in there before. I'm like, oh my God, there's people everywhere.
With the holiday shopping season just around the corner, crowds will get even worse. About a month ago, police placed officers on bicycles to patrol the mall, and payphones are set up inside the Great Mall of the Great Plains that automatically ring security when you dial star 11. Now, police have some tips on keeping safe. Never shop alone. Park near the entrance and always have your keys ready before you get into your car. Constantly look over your shoulder and be aware of your surroundings. And if you notice something suspicious, go back inside the building and call for help. Lock your door as soon as you get inside your car, and if you have a cell phone, take it with you. A few simple things to remember, but some things that could save your life. Barbara Mina, Fox 4 News. Just before 6 o'clock Tuesday night, Pamela Butler was seen being pulled into a Ford pickup as she rollerbladed near her own home. Paul Wilt chased the truck for nearly 3 miles from the Armourdale neighborhood where Pamela lives to Southwest Boulevard.
He was leaning over and like he was holding someone down on the floorboard, and I didn't know. at that point, now I do know what he was doing. He's holding her down.
But the truck got away. Then a massive task force is set up. Police hit several areas on both sides of the state line looking for Pamela and the suspect. At about 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, police found the Ford pickup abandoned at 14th and Bales. A tip then led the FBI to a pond in Grain Valley. Detectives brought in dogs and divers as police spent several hours searching for the girl and the suspect, Keith Nelson. Nothing was found. Later that afternoon, a police sergeant patrolling in the St. Margaret's apartment complex near Mill and Gilmore saw Nelson, recognizing him from mugshots. And the search was on again. More than 100 police officers, along with search dogs, scoured the neighborhood as helicopters hovered from above and neighbors watched helplessly.
I'm just really scared because if it was my child, I wouldn't know what to do.
Police are also wondering what to do after this, too, turned out to be a search that would come up empty.
It's a little bit frustrating. We were very disappointed with the search that just took place a couple hours ago. We thought we'd come up with a suspect, and we know finding this person would be a key to finding the girl.
Barbara Mina, Fox 4 News.
And as Fox 4's Barbara Mina reports, Glass says that now is the time to step up to the plate.
I just don't think it would be in my best interest or something that would be good for me and my family.
That was David Glass about 2 years ago after he withdrew his bid to buy the Kansas City Royals. Before Royals owner Ewing Kauffman died in 1993, he handpicked Glass to run the team. Glass, the Walmart CEO, now serves as chairman of the board for the Royals. But Kauffman wanted Glass to own the team too and keep the Royals in Kansas City. When the Royals ended the 1997 season with a losing record both on the field and in the bank, the board decided to open the bidding to sell the team. Glass put in his offer.
I had really very little expression of interest in the acquisition of the Royals until very recently.
But a shaky relationship with fans and the media caused him to withdraw his bid. Time is slowly ticking away for the team to find a new owner. The team has until January 2002 to find a new owner and to keep the Royals here in town. Last year, the Royals board accepted Miles Prentice's $75 million bid to buy the team. But earlier this month, Major League Baseball rejected that offer. However, the $75 million bid is still on the table. Widespread fear is that the Royals could be bought by an outsider and move out of town. And now, a man once snubbed by Kansas Cityans is stepping back up to the plate to rescue the team and keep them where Ewing Kauffman wanted them, here in Kansas City. Barbara Mina, Fox 4 News.
We feel embarrassed that we stocked up too much. Some officials say no. Fox 4's Barbara Smith has more on what Y2K really did for the world.
No, Y2K wasn't doomsday. It wasn't Armageddon. It wasn't the end of the world. What it was just the opposite, the bonding together of human beings, those unique characteristics that allow the human race to survive and protect this planet from the perils of the universe, from storms, floods, earthquakes, and people who like to cause mass hysteria. A lot of people may feel embarrassed about preparing for the worst, but here in the Midwest, we're used to disasters.
Yeah, we're very familiar with flooding in this part of the country.
Charles Biggs is the Director of Response and Recovery for FEMA. He says he applauds those who went the extra mile to protect their family and loved ones.
It has certainly helped efforts, the emergency management efforts in urging people to prepare for disasters of any kind.
Well, maybe the Y2K bug didn't bite, but other disasters are imminent, and now we're ready.
The same sort of setup that we had to deal with potential Y2K problems could be used to deal with problems that result from a major snowstorm or power outage like that October snowstorm.
Missouri is right in Tornado Alley and sits along the new Madrid Fault. Winter's far from over and spring is months away.
Who knows, we could have a major winter event where those supplies could come in handy.
So don't feel too bad. Consider yourself part of the global peace effort.
It really does say a lot about the cooperation between business and government.
Not only here in the Midwest, but of America and of the world.
This is a tribute to the cooperation and the partnerships that have developed because of Y2K.
One of the things that this ICC project really did for us was really prove that our procedures, our planning, our practices that were put into place were really sound and that they would have worked.
No, not the end of the world, just the opposite. The bringing together of humanity, the global unity this Earth needs to prepare this planet to face whatever the new millennium and the universe brings it. Barbara Smith, Fox 4 News.